Hey educators, it's Rachelle from Artful Leadership Coaching and Consulting, and I want to welcome you to the first day of the 7 days of self-care challenge for educators. And today I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about, first of all, what is self-care? And second of all, I want to talk about why does it really matter to us as educators? And I want to start this little conversation just saying that, I just got off the phone this morning with another friend whose teenage son is experiencing suicidal ideation. This time is no joke. And it is time for us to tend to ourselves and to really learn how to promote social emotional well-being and social emotional learning for our students. So, and I that's the place that I'm coming from with this self-care challenge. So first of all, when we talk about what is self-care, I feel like we're in a culture where we talk about self-care a lot, and often it shows up as massages and mani-pedis and days of golfing with the boys and afternoons off to have some cocktails or whatever. And those are all wonderful things that are part of a balanced life. And the kind of self-care that I'm talking about is more of under the umbrella of radical self-care, the kind that really helps us to set our mindset and take care of our emotions and our regulation of our nervous system and be physically fit so that we can really step into the leadership that we're called to as educators. Education is a calling. It is not just a job. And especially right now, educators are really a light to students. And so this self-care that I'm talking about is really about that. And when we look at that question of why does it matter to us as educators? Why does self-care matter? I want to tell a little bit of my own story. So I come from a missionary family, and as a woman in my early 20s, I moved here to San Diego, and I ended up through social work studies falling in love with working with youth impacted by homelessness, and ended up being a part of a team that established a one-of-a-kind school and a national model for educating youth impacted by homelessness that is now the Monarch School. And I worked there for almost 22 years, just left there this spring. And there are some practices that I learned in that high stress, high trauma environment to be able to have that kind of longevity and to be able to show up on a regular basis, really meeting those students who are facing so much trauma and adversity and oppression and abuse with love, with presence, and really teaching them social emotional learning skills. And then over time was able to also provide those things to the adults on campus so that they could be equipped to do that work as well. And all of that work, as you can imagine, is a recipe for burnout, showing up and doing therapy and groups and teaching and staff meetings and all those things in that environment. And then add on there that just like you, I have my own crosses to bear. I got married, I had a baby, I got divorced, managing life in San Diego on nonprofit wages as a single mom, and dating, and all the things that we go through as humans. I know what it's like to show up to school, exhausted because I was up late with my son all night because he was sick, or hungover because the one night that I had to myself, I went out and drank too much with my girlfriends because the guy that I liked turned me down, or just different things that we carry as human beings into our work. And there was a moment where I realized some of the things that I was doing to take care of myself or to manage my emotions through really negative habits were creating some real issues for me. And I was experiencing a really high level of burnout and really had to look myself in the eye and figure out, am I called to this work? And what am I willing to do to really step up as the leader that I know that I am? And so these practices I want to share with you in this challenge are the things that helped me kind of climb out of the hole that I was in and be able to bring leadership to the team at Monarch, and now really be able to be present as a coach and a mentor to other leaders who are, doing impactful work with youth in the world. So I can't say enough how passionate I am about the importance of you taking care of yourself and managing yourself in this time, and treating yourself as kind of like a performance athlete, because you're running a marathon. And I want to end with some thoughts that I got from Angela Davis, civil rights activist, about radical self-care, where she talks about, anybody who wants to make a change in the world gets to learn how to take care of themselves. And we also get to learn about the collective nature of that work. And that's what this is really all about. It's about building community and creating a space where we can take care of ourselves and prioritize that, and also create spaces where we can do that together. So join the challenge. Grab a friend that it can be your ride or die in this work, and comment below, what does self-care mean to you, and why does it matter to you as an educator? And I will see you tomorrow for the second day of 7 days of self-care challenge for educators. Take good care of yourself today. You're worth it. Bye.